Chapter 8. Become the person your future requires. The future you've imagined already knows who you must become. Long before success appears, long before opportunity arrives, long before the breakthrough becomes visible, something far more important must happen. You must become the kind of person who can sustain what you're asking life to provide. That is one of life's greatest secrets. Most people spend years trying to change their circumstances. Very few spend those same years changing themselves. Yet circumstances almost always follow identity. Think about a tree for a moment. No matter how much fruit you wish would appear, the fruit will never grow healthier than the roots supporting it. If the roots remain weak, the harvest remains limited. But strengthen the roots, and eventually the tree produces more than it ever has before. Your life works the same way. The results people see are simply the fruit. Your identity is the root. You may not have noticed this before, but every goal you've ever achieved first required a different version of yourself. Before you earned more, you had to think differently about value. Before you became healthier, you had to make different decisions every day. Before you developed confidence, you had to act courageously while confidence was still growing. The reward always arrived after the transformation had already begun. Never before. Become before you receive. Allow those words to settle into your mind. Become before you receive. Because life rarely gives permanent success to someone who hasn't become capable of sustaining it. Imagine handing the keys to a high-performance race car to someone who has never learned to drive. The vehicle isn't the problem. The driver isn't prepared. Now imagine giving that same car to an experienced professional. The opportunity is identical. The preparation is completely different. Life operates in much the same way. Many opportunities don't arrive because you're lucky. They arrive because you've grown into someone who can handle them. That's why preparation is one of the greatest forms of faith. Preparation says, I believe the opportunity is coming, so I'm becoming ready today. Most people wait for opportunity before they prepare. Highly successful people prepare before opportunity appears. That single difference changes everything. Think about the greatest performers in any field. Olympic athletes don't begin training after qualifying. Musicians don't begin practicing after selling out arenas. Authors don't suddenly learn how to write after becoming best-selling writers. Preparation always comes first. Recognition comes later. The invisible work always precedes the visible reward. Yet we often forget this when it comes to our own lives. We want greater relationships without becoming better communicators. We want financial freedom without becoming disciplined stewards. We want confidence without repeatedly practicing courage. We want influence without first becoming trustworthy. We focus on receiving, while life continues asking us to become. Become before you receive. You may not have noticed this before, but your future self has already solved many of the problems you're facing today. Imagine meeting that future version of yourself. Not years from now. Right now. They walk with calm confidence. They don't panic over every setback. They don't doubt every decision. They don't seek approval from everyone around them. They've learned patience. They've developed discipline. They trust themselves. Now ask yourself a simple question. What would that future version of you do differently today? Would they procrastinate? Would they continue making excuses? Would they speak negatively about themselves? Would they remain trapped inside yesterday's identity? Probably not. Then perhaps the fastest path toward your future isn't waiting for life to change. It's borrowing the habits of the person you're becoming. Think about that carefully. The future isn't simply a destination. It's an identity under construction. Every choice you make today either strengthens that identity or delays it. Every morning you choose discipline over distraction. You become. Every time you replace fear with action, you become. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, you become. Every time you forgive instead of carrying resentment, you become. Transformation isn't one dramatic event. It's thousands of ordinary decisions moving in the same direction. People often ask, when will my life finally change? The better question is, when will my daily choices begin matching the future I'm asking for? Because your schedule reveals your priorities. Your habits reveal your identity. Your consistency reveals your future. Breakthroughs are exciting. Habits create them. You may not have noticed this before, but every extraordinary life is built upon ordinary actions repeated with extraordinary consistency. The world often celebrates moments. Life rewards patterns. One courageous decision matters. 1,000 courageous decisions create character. One healthy meal matters. Years of healthy choices create vitality. One encouraging conversation matters. Years of intentional relationships create trust. The pattern always matters more than the moment. That realization removes enormous pressure. You don't need to transform your entire life today. You simply need to become slightly more aligned with your future than you were yesterday. Small improvements seem invisible in the beginning, but over time, they become impossible to ignore. Imagine adjusting the course of an airplane by only a few degrees. For the first few miles, nothing appears different. Everything looks the same. Passengers notice nothing. Hours later, the destination is completely different. Tiny adjustments create massive outcomes. Life works exactly the same way. Small decisions become major destinies. Become before you receive. You may not have noticed this before, but the life you admire in others is usually built upon decisions nobody applauded. The mornings they woke up early, the evenings they kept learning, the weekends they remained committed, the moments they continued despite disappointment. No audience, no applause, no recognition, just consistency. Consistency eventually becomes confidence. Confidence eventually becomes competence. Competence eventually creates opportunity. Opportunity eventually appears as overnight success. But it never happened overnight. The roots had been growing long before anyone noticed the tree. Think about a sculptor standing before an enormous block of marble. To everyone else, it's simply stone, heavy, unremarkable, ordinary. But the sculptor sees something invisible, a masterpiece waiting to emerge. Each day they remove another piece. Slowly, patiently, carefully. There are days when the sculpture barely appears different. Weeks when progress seems invisible. Months where others question whether anything meaningful is happening. Yet the sculptor continues. Not because they already see the finished work, because they believe it's already hidden inside. Perhaps that's exactly what life has been doing with you. Every disappointment removed pride. Every failure removed arrogance. Every setback removed dependence on external approval. Every obstacle carved away fear. Every lesson shaped wisdom. Every challenge refined character. Little by little, the unnecessary has been falling away. The person your future requires has been emerging all along. Not through comfort, through transformation. Pause for a moment. Who must you become to receive the life you desire? Not what must you own. Not what must you accomplish. Who must you become? More patient, more disciplined, more courageous, more forgiving, more focused, more generous, more faithful. Your answer reveals your next step. Because life isn't withholding your future. It's preparing you to sustain it. Become before you receive. That isn't merely motivation. It's one of the deepest principles governing lasting transformation. And once you understand it, you'll stop chasing success. You'll start becoming the kind of person success naturally follows. Because identity always leads, and circumstances eventually follow. The question is no longer whether your future exists. The question is whether you're willing to become the person capable of living it. That answer begins today. There is something remarkable about the future. It is always calling you forward, not through pressure, not through fear, but through possibility. Every dream you've ever held quietly asks the same question. Will you become the person capable of living me? That question changes everything, because suddenly your attention shifts away from wishing and toward becoming. Most people believe success changes people. In reality, success reveals people. If someone lacks discipline before success, success often magnifies their lack of discipline. If someone lacks humility, success often magnifies pride. If someone lacks gratitude, success rarely creates it. Whatever lives inside eventually becomes visible outside. That is why inner transformation must always come first. Become before you receive. Think about the foundation of a skyscraper. When construction begins, almost nothing impressive can be seen above ground. For weeks, sometimes months, workers seem to be digging, pouring concrete, laying steel, building something invisible. To someone walking past, it may appear as though very little progress is happening. But the engineers understand something essential. The height of the building is determined by the strength of the foundation. A weak foundation limits the future. A strong foundation expands it. The same principle governs your life. Your values are the foundation. Your habits are the framework. Your character is the structure. Your future is built long before anyone sees the finished result. You may not have noticed this before, but many people quit during the foundation stage. They stop because they don't see immediate results. They become discouraged because recognition hasn't arrived. They compare their beginning to someone else's middle. They assume nothing is changing. Yet beneath the surface, everything is changing. Roots are growing. Character is strengthening. Vision is becoming clearer. Capacity is expanding. The invisible season is never wasted. It is preparing visible success. Think about the bamboo tree. For years after planting, very little appears above the ground. Someone unfamiliar with its growth might believe nothing is happening. They may even conclude the seed failed. But beneath the surface, an enormous root system is spreading. Then something extraordinary happens. When the roots are finally strong enough, the bamboo grows rapidly. What looked like sudden growth was actually years of invisible preparation. Many lives follow the same pattern. The breakthrough isn't sudden. The preparation simply became visible. Perhaps that's where you are today. Perhaps you've been faithfully showing up, learning, growing, healing, developing, changing your thinking, strengthening your discipline, building habits no one applauds. If so, do not mistake unseen progress for absent progress. The roots are growing. Become before you receive. One of the greatest traps in life is believing that motivation creates consistency. It rarely does. Consistency creates motivation. Most people wait until they feel inspired. Highly successful people become committed first. Feelings change. Purpose remains. Imagine a musician preparing for a concert. Some mornings they feel inspired. Other mornings they don't. Yet they practice anyway. Not because inspiration arrived, because excellence requires consistency. Now think about your own life. If you only acted when emotions supported your goals, how much progress would you actually make? Discipline becomes powerful because it allows your purpose to lead when your emotions hesitate. That is why discipline isn't punishment. It is freedom. Freedom from inconsistency. Freedom from impulse. Freedom from becoming a prisoner of temporary feelings. The disciplined person isn't controlled by every emotion. They acknowledge emotions. Then they continue moving. That single habit separates dreams from reality. You may not have noticed this before, but every future version of yourself is hidden inside today's smallest choices. Every book begins with one page. Every marathon begins with one step. Every business begins with one decision. Every meaningful relationship begins with one conversation. Every transformation begins with one courageous action. The future rarely announces itself dramatically. It quietly arrives disguised as today's ordinary decisions. Never underestimate small beginnings. Small beginnings create extraordinary endings. Pause for a moment. Ask yourself honestly, if your habits continued exactly as they are today for the next 5 years, would they naturally create the future you're hoping for? Don't answer with guilt. Answer with awareness. Awareness is where transformation begins. Because once you see clearly, you can choose differently. That is one of the greatest gifts you possess. Choice. Yesterday cannot be changed. Tomorrow has not yet arrived. But today remains beautifully available. Every moment offers another opportunity to become. Become before you receive. There is another truth worth considering. Many people believe they must become perfect before they deserve success. That belief quietly keeps them trapped. Perfection is not the requirement. Progress is. Imagine waiting until you felt completely fearless before speaking in public. You might wait forever. Imagine waiting until you knew everything before starting a business. You might never begin. Imagine waiting until you felt completely confident before pursuing your purpose. Years could pass. Growth has never required perfection. Growth requires willingness. Willingness to learn. Willingness to improve. Willingness to continue after mistakes. The person your future requires isn't flawless. They're teachable. They're resilient. They're adaptable. They refuse to let temporary setbacks become permanent identities. That's the difference. Failure becomes information, not identity. Criticism becomes feedback, not condemnation. Delay becomes preparation, not defeat. Life changes when interpretation changes. Become before you receive. Think about an eagle learning to fly. There comes a moment when remaining inside the nest becomes more dangerous than leaving it. Safety eventually becomes limitation. Comfort eventually becomes confinement. Growth requires movement. The same is true for you. There are seasons when what once protected you can begin preventing you from becoming who you're meant to be. Old beliefs, old habits, old fears, old excuses, old identities. They served a purpose once, but if you continue carrying them, they may become the very obstacle standing between you and your future. Sometimes becoming isn't about adding something new. Sometimes it's about releasing what no longer belongs. Releasing the belief that you're not enough. Releasing the need for everyone's approval. Releasing the fear of failure. Releasing the identity created by your past. The lighter you become, the higher you're able to rise. Think about this carefully. What belief are you carrying today that your future self no longer needs? Sit with that question, because the answer may quietly transform everything. You are not becoming someone else. You are uncovering who you've been capable of becoming all along. Every lesson, every challenge, every battle you've survived has been preparing you for this version of yourself. The version that no longer waits for permission. The version that no longer measures possibility by yesterday's limitations. The version that understands identity always comes before achievement. Become before you receive. And once you fully embrace that truth, you'll stop asking, when will my future arrive? Instead, you'll begin asking, who am I becoming today? Because the answer to that question determines every tomorrow that follows. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize something extraordinary. The future they've been waiting for has been waiting for them, not waiting for them to become luckier, not waiting for them to know every answer, not waiting for perfect conditions. It has been waiting for them to become the person capable of carrying the life they've been praying for. That realization changes everything, because from that moment forward, you stop asking life for permission. You begin giving yourself permission to grow. You stop measuring your future by your current circumstances. You begin measuring your circumstances against your future identity. That is a completely different way of living. Most people allow today's reality to define tomorrow's possibilities. They look at their bank account, their past, their mistakes, their disappointments, their current environment. Then they quietly decide what is possible. But every extraordinary achievement in history began with someone refusing to let present circumstances determine future outcomes. Every inventor, every explorer, every leader, every artist, every entrepreneur, every person who changed their life first changed the picture they carried in their mind. Long before the world believed in them, they believed in the version of themselves they were becoming. Become before you receive. Think about a master architect. Before a single brick is laid, the building already exists in their imagination. They know where every room belongs, every window, every doorway, every floor. The workers may only see scattered materials. The architect sees the finished masterpiece. Your future works much the same way. Today may appear unfinished, incomplete, uncertain, but that does not mean your life lacks direction. It may simply mean construction is still taking place. Never confuse an unfinished season with an unfinished destiny. The blueprint already exists. Your responsibility is to continue building, one decision at a time, one habit at a time, one courageous choice at a time. You may not have noticed this before, but your future is quietly shaped by the conversations you have with yourself every day. Listen carefully to those conversations. Do they build you, or do they diminish you? Do they remind you of possibility, or repeatedly rehearse limitation? Every sentence you consistently believe eventually becomes part of your identity. Identity becomes behavior. Behavior becomes habits. Habits become your future. That is why changing your internal dialogue is one of the most important forms of transformation. Imagine waking each morning with one simple reminder. I am becoming the person my future requires. Notice how different that feels. Instead of focusing on everything you lack, you begin noticing everything you're developing. Patience, wisdom, discipline, compassion, consistency, courage, faith. Those qualities are worth more than temporary success. Because those qualities can create success again and again. Results may come and go. Character remains. Become before you receive. Pause for a moment. Think about the person you hope to become 5 years from today. How do they think? How do they respond under pressure? How do they treat other people? How do they speak about themselves? How do they spend their mornings? How do they handle disappointment? How do they celebrate success? Now ask yourself an even more powerful question. What small decision can I make today that belongs to that future version of me? Perhaps it's making the phone call you've been avoiding. Perhaps it's reading one chapter instead of scrolling for another hour. Perhaps it's exercising, writing, forgiving, saving, learning, listening, showing up again after failure. Never underestimate one aligned decision. One decision repeated consistently has the power to redirect an entire life. That is how transformation happens. Not all at once. One intentional step after another. Many people believe extraordinary lives are built through extraordinary moments. The truth is much quieter. Extraordinary lives are built through ordinary moments lived with extraordinary intention. You don't become resilient because life suddenly becomes easy. You become resilient because you continue choosing courage. You don't become disciplined because motivation never leaves. You become disciplined because your purpose becomes stronger than your excuses. You don't become confident because fear disappears. You become confident because you've learned to move while fear is still speaking. Every quality you admire is developed through practice, not prediction. Growth has always been participatory. Life is not asking you to watch transformation happen. Life is inviting you to participate in it. Become before you receive. Here is something that many people never fully understand. The greatest reward for becoming a better person is not the success that follows. The greatest reward is becoming someone you deeply respect. Think about that. Imagine reaching the end of your life knowing you became everything you were capable of becoming. Not because every dream happened exactly as planned, but because you refused to stop growing. Because you continued learning, continued serving, continued believing, continued becoming. That is a life without regret. Success measured only by possessions is temporary. Success measured by character becomes eternal. Because character influences every relationship, every opportunity, every conversation, every challenge, every decision. Character quietly opens doors that talent alone cannot. You may not have noticed this before, but people are rarely inspired only by success. They are inspired by transformation. They admire the person who refused to quit, the person who remained humble, the person who kept learning, the person who stayed kind after being hurt, the person who continued believing after disappointment. Transformation is contagious. When you become stronger, others begin believing they can become stronger too. When you choose hope, you quietly give someone else permission to hope again. When you continue growing, you become living evidence that change is possible. That may become one of your greatest contributions to the world. Not simply what you accomplish, but who you become while accomplishing it. Become before you receive. There is one final truth I want to leave with you before we continue this journey. Your future is not hiding from you. It is preparing to meet the version of you capable of sustaining it. Every battle you've survived has increased your capacity. Every lesson has expanded your wisdom. Every setback has strengthened your resilience. Every obstacle has refined your character. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing. Even the seasons that felt confusing. Even the delays. Even the disappointments. Even the moments when progress seemed invisible. They have all been shaping someone extraordinary. Someone capable of carrying greater responsibility, greater influence, greater purpose, greater peace. The person your future requires has not been created in a single moment. That person has been quietly emerging through every chapter of your life. So stop asking whether you're ready. Instead, ask yourself, who am I becoming today? Because every answer to that question becomes another step toward the life you've imagined. Become before you receive. One day you'll look back and realize, the greatest miracle wasn't that your circumstances changed. The greatest miracle was that you did. And once your identity changed, your life had no choice but to begin changing with it. Now another question begins to rise. If becoming the right person unlocks your future, how much untapped potential is already living inside you? How much strength has remained hidden simply because it has never been called forward? What if your greatest limitation has never been your ability, but your belief about your ability? Because there is far more within you than you've ever allowed yourself to see. And that is exactly where our journey leads next. It's time to discover what has been waiting beneath the surface all along.